So try and remember as much as possible. I will try and help you if you get stuck. So what I want to is to the last point up to the point of pushback. So remember, lights go on after you input detail. So you could, if you want to make it easier, do the APU, then do the lights.
Do you mean the interior lights?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So APU. So first, we do the test. These ones.
All right.
Yes. We go back up.
Uh-huh.
Turn on fuel pump aft. And strobe light steady. And APU start.
APU steady position goes on after the APU's on.
Ah. So we wait for this to go up to 8, then back to 6.
Yep.
Okay, so we know we have APU power, so we can turn on the generators.
Well done.
So this is where you said we can turn on the lights, huh?
Yep. So you can do the lights now.
Okay. Oh. This.
Nice. Nice.
Emergency lights. These ones. Okay. What else? Now we can go upstairs. We can do the tests. So flap test. Align the nav.
Well done.
Oops.
Well done. Well done.
And this doesn't work yet. That's it. We're here. Now we can do FMS.
Yep.
So FMC. Pause in it. We put our airport, so CYYZ. Gate C30. This page. Copy this. Here.
Well, awesome.
CYY. Oh. Boston is KBOS. Uh-huh. Co-route. I forgot.
You don't need co-route.
Okay.
Not yet. I'll tell you that another time.
Okay. And runway, you said we can leave it empty.
Yep. That's fun.
Okay.
So before we do that, what do we need to do?
Oh, we can do the SIDS.
Yep, but before we do the SIDS, what do we do?
Wait.
No. What I tell you earlier on, After we program the FMC and align the IRS, what do we need to do?
I'll check all the panels. Okay.
Look at my screen.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do the okay overhead. So yaw dampers on. So we go panel 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Yeah.
So yaw dampers
You'll always
on.
remember it that way. Up, down, up, down.
Okay, okay. Then all the fuel pump goes on, right?
Just one. That's the one
just
you
one?
got. No. Yeah, the one you currently got on.
Okay. Second panel. That's it.
It's fine.
Okay, third panel.
It's fine.
Okay. And this one we have window heat all on.
Yep. Yep. That's done.
Okay. Then we have packs. Trim air on. Packs auto. And flight at altitude is set already.
Awesome. Sorted. Well
Cool.
done. Okay, so let's program the FMC.
Okay, so departure 06 left
Yeah?
and kept at 2.
Uh-huh.
Transition BMPAH.
Yeah.
Route. Oops. Activate.
No.
Oops.
It's fine. But what are we missing?
The arrival.
Nope. So, because you missed out that bit, click on RTE route. Now go next page.
We're missing the waypoints.
Yep.
So I'll need to check the flight plan. So after BMPAH, we have direct to AEVON. AEVON. AEVON.
Oh, that's quite a good one. We missed that one out, actually.
Yeah, I think we did. HANKK. And it goes on the right because it's only letters. But the next one, Quebec.
Just don't say it goes on the right because it's only letters.
Haha.
It's
waypoints.
It's an airway.
Oh, yeah. PONCT.
Awesome.
And that's it. Because the next one is the star.
Yep, now you can execute.
Okay. The arrival at Boston will do
No, you don't need to do that.
Why not?
Because I haven't taught you that yet.
Okay.
So, initialization.
Do I need to check the AviTab?
So, before we do that, what do we need to do?
Check the fuel.
Uh-huh. Fuel and payload.
Payload. So payload on the flight plan was
Go to page 3.
Oh.
I'm trying to push you here.
3.4.8.
So what do you put in there?
3.4.8.1.
Alright, well done.
Yeah. Okay.
And what else are you missing? Fuel is done. Oh yeah, you done the fuel.
What was from last flight? Is it correct?
That's wrong. You need to update that.
Yes. 12.8, so 12. It is. We can go back to the FMC. Altitude is 340. You...
Don't do that. Never do
Ah,
that. Okay, so go left to right. Don't go right, left, left, right, right, left, and because
okay.
you'll then get confused.
Okay.
So work from one side to the other side. Same as up.
Okay,
Work
okay,
from
okay.
one side to the other up. Same as here. Work from left side to down there. Because the moment, because you're still new, the moment that you start going like this, right? The moment that you start going like, the flight displays are fine, but the moment you start doing this and then this and then here and then here, you'll get confused. So do one thing at a time. Don't
Okay.
confuse yourself.
Okay, okay, okay. Plan fuel, I forgot what to...
Leave that blank.
Okay. Pure fuel is fine. Reserve is 1.0. Costing
But that
index.
depends on each flight. So you might sometimes put more. So you need to keep an eye on that.
Okay. Okay, so winds, if we go back on page 5, no, 4, top of climb, wind, 294 at 100,
That's impressive.
294, 100, boom, ISA,
ISA deviation.
ISA, so it's as well top of climb, minus 0.2,
Yep.
minus 2. And here you said we had to correct, so it's minus 57. Okay.
Well done. Then what else? No. What else is missing? So everything, you don't even need to click on it because everything, look on the FMC, everything is set for you. So from here, after you've done that, it's take off the next page.
Ah,
Sorry. So from position, route, then that's done. Take off. Sorry, then it'll have perf initialization. Then I'll have perf initialization. After you're done, N1 limit, and then boom.
hmm.
So you can always go to the next page on that.
Oops.
If you get lost,
Yeah.
just click menu, right? You can always click index, okay? Then it'll take you to position, perf initialization, takeoff, approach, blah, blah, blah. At the moment, you only need perf initialization, okay? So let's say, for example, I don't know, you'll hit, you can even click N1 limit as well. So say, for example, you're here. How would you go back to where you want it to be? Next page.
Menu. FMC. Here.
There we go.
Flaps 5.
Yep. Well done. All right, so carry on.
Well, that's done, no?
No.
Oh, next page.
So, no.
No.
So, the FMC is done. So, what do we do after?
Aha, of what's it called? This autopilot
MCP.
MTB.
CP. MC.
Ah, what does it mean?
I'm about to find that out. I know it sounds for autopilot something. What does MCP in aviation stand? Instrument panel.
Okay. So left to right. Left, so we have... What do we want? VNav?
Yeah. Ah. Why doesn't that work?
Aha.
Ah.
We need both of them. Okay. Altitude 5000 is the one we want to
You
be.
missed one already.
Uh,
What did we put in a speed?
aha, no, we put V2.
Well done.
V2 was 146.
So some people put V2 plus 5,
Ah,
but we put that. All right, so 5. So you could put 1. You could put 146 or plus 5. Up to you.
hmm.
So what's our group? So 5,000, right? Awesome. So that is you're pretty much ready, buddy. It's I think you learned that pretty fucking quick.
Cool.
That was impressive. I'll give you credit for that, but that was impressive. Okay, so now that you're ready for pushback, okay, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna go to your plugins, better pushback, and do the same thing again as yesterday. And
So
you're gonna start the engine.
pre-plan. Yeah.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Should we taxi up to the runway?
Yeah, we'll
and,
taxi.
Yeah.
We're gonna taxi. We're gonna taxi, and then, but we're not gonna take off. I just
Okay,
wanted to
yeah,
taxi up to the runway,
Sounds good. Yeah, yeah.
up to the point where you take, you know, where you do the lights and stuff. So I'll explain what the lights mean.
And especially the taxiway. I think I forgot the way.
Yep, it's fine. So, have you programmed it?
I have.
Have you started it?
Oh no.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Oh wait.
Right. So at this point, you want to switch all the fuel pumps on,
Okay.
and then you work from left to right. So left is done, right is done. So again, we work down. We make sure that the seat belts are on. We make sure that the wipers are not operating. We work down again, work down. These stay on the same. Work down, and then work down again. Now these are very important, and these need to be done correctly. So the left pack and the right pack need to go to off, and the APU bleed needs to go to on, because you need to bleed air into the engines for it to switch on. Anti-collision light goes on. That's a beacon. So basically, that's
Okay,
now
all
saying
doors and hatches are
outside.
closed. Ready to connect.
Okay, guys. Okay, guys. This aircraft is now in operation. Everybody push back. Everybody wait. So down here is what you call a squawk code. Now, when you fly online, it will tell you, they'll give you a code, and it's a code to identify you. Each aircraft has one, and they might give you a code. So I'm gonna say, so you use these little things to twist the code. So if you're flying by yourself, it's usually 2200 IFR. If you're flying VFR by yourself, it's 1200 with no ATC. So I want you to squawk, let's say 4010.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
4010. 40. 12.
And then you need to release the parking brake.
Yep.
Yeah, and you need to switch this
Starting
to
pushback.
TA.
And you may start engines.
And what that does is it basically on the ATC screen, they will now be able to see your speed, but not your altitude. But you can just put a TA or altitude on, so they'll be able to see. But I just put TA, and as you enter the runway, you put TRA, because then that will be TA. I think is just the speed, and then TARA is speed and altitude. So you want you keep now this on, which means squawking. So now your mode's Charlie at this point. So that means you're visible. They might tell you sometimes mode Charlie, so you switch it to TA if you're on taxiing, TARA when you're not taxiing. So 4010. Okay, cool. That is now set. So you're now squawking. So squawk. So as you do the corners, what you're going to do is you're going to get the aircraft ready. You're going to make sure that these packs again Now set to off, open and open, because if you don't do this, the ISO. So you set these left packs both to off. Go on. Awesome. Okay. Now, to start the engine, you basically start the hydro pump on. First one, right? No, just the one. First one.
Okay.
Okay. And then you set the ignition to the right. So I'm going to put it to set to the right. And you set the first one to the ground. Right, now the engines are going to start. Keep an eye on your engines.
So it has to go up to 15?
25.
25.
So that one again. Number 2 on fuel, add fuel.
Is it 25?
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
That
So
part.
it's here, down on the screen.
Oh, I was looking upstairs.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Yeah. So he's now disconnecting. And look at, this is called recall. So check your recall regularly. So at the moment it's saying hide. So that means it's hide. Look at that switch. That's going to switch to auto. As soon as that's done, that's the engine stable. So you now switch that to the left.
Okay.
And before you start, you put that, no.
Ah.
Before you start, you switch that to on, hydro pump on. That's the second one. And then you switch it to ground.
So 21, 25.
There you go, add fuel.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
There we go. Autopilot is now disconnected. Watch the switch. As it stabilizes, it'll just go back to auto.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Awesome. Okay, now set flaps 5.
Flaps.
So you might want to have a button for that as well. Flaps up and flaps 5. Flaps up and flaps down for a button. Because otherwise, if you're flying by yourself and you don't have a button, you're going to have a hard time. There we go, flaps 5. Because remember, that's what you set here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, so watch this bit here. So if you put the flaps up, watch this little gear, look, it tells you. Look, you see it?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. It shows the flaps.
It says, les flaps transit. Les flaps, a bit of French there. Les croissants, bonjour. So they go, so you set flaps 5.
Okay.
And watch it go, les flaps. Les flaps, les flaps. Say bonjour, ça va bien, merci. So they go, flaps 5. All right, there we go. It's going. All right, cool. So that's the flaps. And then what you do is you now do a what you call a yoke test, a movement. So you go full left, so you pick up full left on the yoke, and then center, and then you go right, and then center. But before you do that, actually, look in the middle. There's a little MFD, yeah? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Click on sys. Now watch the thing full left. Look, just test it. All right, center.
I see it.
Controls, check.
Oh yeah.
All right, check. And then you pull up, center, pull down, center. And now you do the rudder. Full left, center, full right, center. Cool. And
Cool.
now you come up here, you set both of these engines to so before you go down there, you set 1 and 2 on the yellow, on the blues. So down on 1, Gen 1, and down on Gen 2. Right, now it's transferred in there. Right, before you switch the APU off, because you need to switch it off, you set engines to continuous.
Both of them.
Yeah. You set the probe heats on, Now you set the packs to auto. Your isolation valve to auto. The APU bleed goes off. The packs go to on. Alright. You set the wing lights, so you can set the wing lights, and you can set the logo lights if it's dark time. And as soon as you've done that, you switch the APU off. Right, and now ATC tells you you are there you go, you're ready for taxi. So you don't switch the taxi lights on until you are ready for taxi. So you don't switch these on until ATC instructs you that you are ready for taxi. While you're waiting for the instructions, these don't go on. As soon as it says ready, okay, taxi this, blah blah blah, you switch them on. So switch the taxi light on.
Only the one.
Yeah, so it's just the taxi light because you're just taxiing.
Okay.
Release the park and brake. Right, and then off you go.
Cool.
So as you're taxiing, look at my map. So I hope you have 2 thingies, right? So this is where you're going to need a taxi. So taxi, and then we go to airport information. No, sorry. Keep taxiing. So stop here a second. Sorry, I actually want to test you on something. Okay, so here we are. Can you see us?
Yep.
Okay, so we need to go to runway 06 left. So there's 06 left. All right, that's 24 right, blah, 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 that's 34. This just gives you some information about the airport. I just use this to get the taxiways. So can you see these little letters?
Yeah.
They're taxiways, okay? So what it's going to tell you is the one in front of you, if you look in front of you, that's Alpha Juliet. So you're going to have to go down here, Alpha Juliet, and then this, the first one on the left is Alpha, and then the next one is on Bravo. Can you see it?
Yep.
And then that is Delta, that is Victor, okay? So I want you to taxi via Alpha Juliet.
Okay.
Let's say Alpha Juliet, Bravo, and then Delta, and then hold short at runway 06 left, and I'll tell you where to hold short. So go ahead, taxi out.
Well,
So-
you mean hold
so
short
Alpha
3-3,
so-
right?
So I said Alpha Juliet, Bravo, Delta, yeah? So what
Yeah.
are you going to do? So usually agency will say Alpha Juliet, taxi via Alpha Juliet, Bravo, Delta, cross runway 33 right.
Yeah.
And hold runway 6 left. So that means Alpha Juliet, which is here, and then
Yeah.
you go on to Bravo. And you taxi down Bravo, and you go on to Delta. And then you cross runway 33 right. Can you see runway 33 right?
Yeah, yeah.
You cross, come down here onto Delta because this is carrying on Delta, and you hold short a runway. There's a little thing there to hold
I see, I
short.
see.
So I'm going to keep this here like this. So taxi ahead of this. So you know you need to go down. So down here. Oops. So this is where this is going to help you big time. Okay, so you want to carry on just ahead of, so carry on just, yeah, through there, straight ahead. So Bravo is not the first one, it's the second one. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Remember the speed I told you? Alright, cool.
So it's this one on the left.
Yeah, it's this one on the left, so you can see it. To confirm it, you can look outside. It'll be on the taxi thingy. So you take this left, and if you look at those signs on there, it says there, black in B for Bravo in black. So if you remember right, I said Bravo then Delta. So So at least keep going. Watch your speed. Don't go above 25, so you can keep out this side.
So who did you fly with across the pond?
Flew with Mango. I called Mango, T-Mango.
Do you often fly with him?
It's alright. Yeah, we fly. We did a little flight. It was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool. We did it in 7 hours. So
Wow, crazy. So long.
in a little 737-700. It was a business jet.
Uh-huh.
We call it the BBJ. Okay, so now you're ready. So remember, you're coming up to here, so it's not this right that you're going. You keep going.
Next one.
It's not the next
no.
one either. When is it? You tell me.
It's not Victor, it's Delta.
Yep, well done. So now you got to be looking out for Delta visually. Don't rely too much on here. No more than 25. Keep it within the threshold, otherwise you'll go too fast. Watch your speed. So Delta is this one now coming on the right. So this is Delta. So we want to cross. So can you see Delta there?
Yeah.
Where it says runway 33. So technically, as you enter a runway, technically, they say that you're supposed to switch on your strobe. So switch your strobe to position and strobe. So switch it the other way. So while you
for departure.
So as you enter in the runway, it's not this runway for departure, but as you cross the runway, the strobes go on. And once you finish crossing it, you can then go ahead and... Right, awesome. Now you can switch it back to steady.
Okay.
Awesome. So watch your speed, no more than 25. So now you know that Delta is all the way down to the bottom of 6 left, so you no longer need that technically. So
Okay.
you wouldn't need that realistically.
It's hard with the sim, you know, to see the runway, the taxi signs. You know, because the screen is small.
Yeah, I know, it's annoying. So that's why I zoomed. So now we know that we're on Delta,
Oh yeah.
and to the left of us is Delta 24. So this is why we zoom. So there, you know you're on Delta because it tells you.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that Delta is all the way thing. Right, so usually ATC might say to you, hold short. So this is where you're gonna hold short. So you look at the runway, you look at our flight plan, and it says there Delta. There's a little cross line as you turn left, so we can go over this point, over this part.
Is it the first left, second left?
You can go to first left.
Okay.
And look where that line is. Look at that line.
The first line?
Yeah, the first line. This is where you're gonna hold short, just before that line or on that line. Alright.
Like this?
Right. Yep. So let's talk about these taxi lines because they all have meaning. They're not just there for a reason. So you see how they like that? That basically means that that runway you have to hold short. You can't cross. Okay. That means that you can't cross.
Okay.
But if the taxi lines are like this, you see how they're broken here?
Yeah.
That means that you can go over it. So for people that are taken over, so the people that land and come down here, they can technically go down here freely without having to worry. That just means caution. So you got to be cautious. So this is where you can land as well. So, okay, so now you're ready. Okay, so as you move, release the parker brake. So as you move, you switch on your auto throttle. Otherwise your tow wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Right, and now you switch the landing lights on. And you switch the runway turn off lights. The taxi light goes off because you're no longer taxiing. The ignition, make sure you go to both. Now the strobing position goes to strobing position.
Flight attendants, please be seated for departure.
There we go. Now you line up with the runway. You can do a runway takeoff, so you don't have to stop. So again, so accelerate, go, get lined up first before you accelerate. Get lined up first before you accelerate. Line up first. Right, there you go. As soon as you're ready, you don't have to stop. You don't have to stop. There you go. Get lined up, and now accelerate a little bit, and then take. Awesome. So let the job do itself. So let the plane. Can you see the pink line, the pink horizontal line we talked about yesterday?
Oh yeah.
This is why we did it yesterday, because now you can see it. So 80 knots. Keep it in the middle. 80 knots. And rotate.
D1.
So at this point, I say positive rate. You say gear up.
Gear up.
All right. So gear up. Gear comes up. So now you're following that, and you're maintaining. You're flying on the heading. Flying on the heading. You're not turning. Okay. So you can zoom in and out. So look what we talked about on the right. So watch your big magenta line. Well, that's good. And then you lock the gear. So you put it to off.
Okay.
Yeah, so you put it to off. And now look on your MCP where it says, right, so let's pause here a second. Look where on your thing it says 1 and then up. Why? Because that's telling you the flaps. So when it gets to 1, you say flaps 1. And when it gets to up, you say flaps up.
I see.
So look. So you tell me.
So flaps 1.
Speed check, flaps 1. So you do a speed check, flaps 1, so you don't break the flaps.
And
then you do...
And flaps up.
Flaps up. Now, the speed is no longer there anymore. So, nose up, otherwise you're going to go over speed. Follow that magenta line. Follow that magenta line. Right, now, let's pause here a second. You're turning for some weird reason. Look at your heading. Where are you supposed to go? What heading are you supposed to go?
257.
Right, there you go. Now, put it on heading select at the moment.
Oh, can you press?
Yeah, so heading select, click heading select.
Okay.
And then click autopilot A. You went over 5,000. And now the plane is... Yep. But you see what I mean? That you have to pay attention to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because there, you were just climbing.
Yeah.
What happened is, you see, you didn't follow that magenta line, and now the plane is all over the place. You went over speed, you went over the thing, and it's just unorganized, okay? So it's fine. So you're heading select. Now, let's go to the legs. Go to the legs.
Okay.
So at the moment, it had a vectors. But we want to go direct to mobile. Okay. let's say, for example, we had a vectors there. Let's go direct to Rakim. So click on Rakim, line select Rakim, and put it on top where it says mobile. Execute. And then click LNAV and watch it fly. Click it follow.
Cool.
Right? Now, this bit is the easiest bit. So put your altitude to our flight level. So 34,000. So all the way to 34,000. And now click altitude intervene. See? Now it climbs.
Cool.
This is what it wasn't. Now this is what it wasn't doing yesterday.
Yeah.
You did this all by yourself. You should be really proud. Okay,
Ah, thank you so much.
You're now going a little bit over speed. So what I do is I click speed intervene.
Yeah.
And I bring it down to about 240, just to keep it safe. And now that's aircraft is going to try and climb at that flight level of 240 and maintain that flight level. All right, so we now zoom in, we now zoom out, and you can see it's now climbing to Rickery. So, as we approach nearly 10,000, okay, you will see our speed shoot up from, we will no longer need to do a speed restriction at 10,000.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so at 10,000 there's another checklist, and I'll tell you what it is. So, we prepare for this, okay, so 10,000, so now you can click speed intervene again. Now the aircraft is going to come down and it's going to try and gain the speed, the cruising speed, okay? And now, after 10,000 feet, we go landing lights off, runway turn off lights off, the engines stay on continuous, and now the strobe in position goes to steady.
Thank you for flying with us today.
And the wing can come off.
Proud to be Air Transport World's
Right, and now we let the aircraft do its thing, climb.
To Advantage in One World members. If you are not an Advantage member, you can sign up.
So,
at
when you're a little bit more
AA.com/join
experienced,
to earn miles for today's
you
flight
will then be
and
able to
continue earning miles with our retail and travel partners.
fly the aircraft by yourself a little bit more. So at the moment you're just
Our
taking off on that.
Aviator MasterCard is another great
That's
way
what I
to
want you to
earn
do.
miles for
And
everyday
then,
purchases.
you know, relying a little
and
bit on the
enjoy
GPS,
benefits,
but then I don't
such
want
as
you
your
to rely
first
so
check
much. I
bag
want you to
free,
fly a
preferred
manual
boarding,
until up and
and
cruising.
no foreign
So at the
transaction
moment you're
fees.
going about
Not an
12,000
Aviator
feet.
card member?
Can you see
See
12,000?
a
Yeah,
flight
yeah.
attendant and receive an
Okay, cool.
exclusive offer when
So
you
now
apply
you're going to make
in-flight
sure.
today.
I just forgot to mention, right?
Shortly,
The auto
we will
brakes
begin our
needs to
in-flight
go
We
on
offer a selection
pushback
of
after you do
complimentary
pushback and
beverages.
everything upstairs and everything.
Wi-Fi
After you do
service
the
is
flaps,
available on this flight.
you put the
Connect to the
speed
AA
brakes to
in-flight
RTO.
signal
Sorry, I forgot to
and
mention
open
that.
your browser.
Okay.
You can access AA.com.
So that's very important. So that needs to go to
flight
RTO,
connections
and then
and other travel
after
information.
takeoff, you do the runway
If
turn,
you need to
you do
power
the
your device,
runway turn off lights,
AC
and then
power
you do
outlets are located at every
RTO,
seat.
and you put it off. Okay, so
While you are seated, please keep your seatbelt fastened and
right. So
visible
now
to the
we
crew
zoom.
when the
We
seatbelt sign is
now
on,
zoom out,
as turbulence can happen
and after
unexpectedly.
PONCT, okay,
If
after
you open
PONCT.
an overhead compartment,
So
use caution,
oh shit.
as carry-on items may have shifted
So-
during takeoff.
Let's have a little look. So how do we check the route? So we go to legs,
Mm-hmm.
and now we can see that our current speed is going to be roughly at 293 cruising weight, and then it goes to 0.765. What the hell's that all about? Okay, so that is our Mach speed because we're going so fast. It changes to Mach speed. On the speed, click CO.
See you.
So speed intervene first, sorry,
Oh.
and then CO. Oh, it probably doesn't work. It doesn't work. That'll switch usually to Mark. Yeah, it usually speak to Mark, but I'll tell you that another day by the looks of it. But that'll switch it to like Mark 7.6 because it switches to Mark level.
When you go
And-
faster, you mean?
Yeah, when you go, it goes to Mark level. Okay, so as you climb 8,000 feet, your altimeter now goes to standard. So click standard on the altimeter, which is located here, and that'll tell you standard, and that'll tell you standard as well. Okay, so
Yep.
that's cool. We now just make sure that.
So this is when you
we
pass
always-
8,000, 18,000 feet.
Yeah, 18,000 feet. That's
Okay.
the transition level. Remember, we're talking about the transition level. I told you another day.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
transition level. So, in America, it's all 18,000 feet. In Europe, it's different altitude. So,
Okay.
on takeoff as well, I forgot to mention that this needs to go to TARA.
Oh
very
yeah, that's right.
important. Yep, TARA. Okay, so let it climb. Let us do its thing. Okay, so we're now climbing. So, say for example, we now want to just see what's ahead of us. Okay, so we click legs, and we
Mhm.
want to test out the thingies. And then on your little MCB, switch that from map to plan. PLN, this one.
Move your mouse.
Yeah, so there.
Map to plan.
Plan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right. So zoom in a little bit.
Oh.
All right. Now go to your legs
Yeah.
and look at where it says step. Click on that. Click on step at the 12. Number 12.
Oh yeah.
Oh look, you can actually see your route.
Ah. Cool.
Ah. Okay, so you know you finish at PONCT, right? You know
Yeah.
you finish at PONCT, right? So it's now about time to start. Usually you start programming when you're, if it's a long cruising altitude, roughly ish. If it's, if you're quite distance from PONCT, you're quite close, then you program it. So go departure and arrival again. So Boston arrival. And now we want the ILS. For which runway, my friend? You tell me.
So we said 3-3 left.
Okay, so ILS 33 left, because we're going for the ILS. And then it's asking, what star is it that we're using?
The G Fund too.
Right, so click G Fund. And what transition?
PONCT.
Well done. So click execute. Go to legs. Make sure you switch your center from PLN to map. Needs to go from PLN to map. There we go. Okay, so our heading bug always needs to go to the current heading that we're at. So at the moment, this is something I want to get into your head.
Ah.
So heading always goes, every time we switch heading, that always goes to the current heading we're at, because I will tell you another day what will happen. Okay, so I will tell you, I will teach you about that, but I want to get into your head that always goes to the current heading. Okay, so we now go next page, and now we know PONCT. Okay, and this is where we're gonna look at our thingy. So Boston. Get some information here. J-Fun. So Stolly. Minster. What's that say there? 240.
Or above.
Yep. So Stolly
240.
or above. A for above, B for below.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. So we now go through and make sure that these are right. So seats 210 or above. So seats 210 or above.
Correct.
We also make sure that our flight speed is 280. Next page, double 240 or 17,000 above. So we now go here, double 17,000. But there's no speed restriction, and that's fine. So what we do is you put about 270 roughly, 270.
Two.
Speed 270, so you're going to intervene and put a slash.
Oops.
No, No, erase, erase. So put 270 and then put the slash. Remember, because you got to put the slash because it's got to look like this. But if you put it onto the other side and execute, there we go. Now it's going to do 270 to from double A. It's going to do 270 to Bazes. And then you've got to look at Bazes. Bazes is going to be at 14,000. So Bazes 14,000 or above.
Correct.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
J-Fund. What altitude do we need to be at J-Fund? There's no altitude at J-Fund, so we can carry on going down. But we need to make sure that autumn, we need to be at 270 and at 12,000 between that altitude. So we look, and it's already there.
Cool.
Winter, the same. Harris, there's no restriction. We keep going to Speedsy. We make sure that that's right. So Speedsy, 220 at 7,000. 220 at 7,000. Awesome. And then we go, I think we go Brody. Yeah, we go Brody. 6,000 or below. So 6,000 or below. Now you got the B.
Mm-hmm.
Bench. 220 knots at 5,000. 220 knots at 5,000. And then it's asking you to go to C2. 210 at 5,000. C2. 210 at 5,000. And then it's even saying here that you got a vector. So at that point, you can expect ATC to give you vectors. So next page. And then you got COHAS. Now, there's no COHAS here. Why? Because COHAS is part of the approach. So you go approach. Runway 33 left.
Yeah.
33 left. And where's COHAS? There's COHAS. Right? There's COHAS. So at that point, we need to make sure that we're at 3,000. So COHAS, 3,000 or below. And then we got Nimoy. So Nimoy, we need to be at 15,000. We have to be there to catch that interceptor. That's the interceptor. That's why there's a star there. That's the interceptor for the ILS. Okay? So we got to program this information. And we just got to make sure. So we know the waypoints are correct. So now we got to program the frequencies. So go into init ref. Right? Now it's going to give you an approach reference. And based on the airport that you put in, it's going to give you all the information about that airport and to program it in. So at the moment, it's saying Boston 33 left. It's 10,072 feet or 3,070 meters. And then you pick what sort of flaps you want. Now, this all comes down to judgment. And you got to look at your weights and you got to look at what fuel. So if you're quite light, so usually if my fuel is like that and I'm taking about, I don't know, about 34,000, 32,000 by the time we get there, I usually go about 30. But if it's quite windy, yeah, and you know you're probably going to be struggling to get down. If it's quite wet, for example, then you're going to need to stop firm and quick. So a flaps 40 would be ideal. But for this flight, we'll do a flaps 30, which is, it's more than ideal. Okay, so flaps 30. So click on flaps 30, and then click it again, and that'll transfer it on there. So now your flaps is 30. Your final speed will be flaps 30. So that's flaps 30 with a speed of 146. So you got to aim on that final approach. You got to make 146 with the wind correction of +5. So you got to add 146 +5, which is 151. Which will be your final speed.
Okay.
And then it's telling us ILS frequency for that airport for us. For those diamonds to lock in, you got to make sure you put in the right ILS frequency. So where do we put the ILS frequency? So if we look, let's look here. Let's look on the radio stack. This is where the radio stack. You now have here, nav. See where that says nav?
Yep.
You want to have one active, one standby. So we need to put that number 110.7. 70 on here. So on your side, you put it first.
Ah,
So put it on your side. 110.770. And then you switch. There's a little switch. It switches, cool. And then if there's no one on your side, you do on my side. So on my side, I now switch. So it's got to be on both sides. 100.70, 110.0. Now every time you change runways, that frequency will most possibly change. If you're lucky, it won't. And then it's saying that a course, which is our final heading of 330, and we need to whack that in here into the course. So we go 330 into the course. Right. Now, we are programmed for approach. Now, what else are we missing? So looking at cruising, what's not right?
yeah, altitude.
No, what did I tell you earlier on that I need to get into your head?
The heading bug.
Yep, well done.
So it is.
Yep, well done. Cool. Now, for this particular landing, we're going to do auto brakes 2. So you can set auto brakes set to 2. Now, it goes medium, hard. So it goes soft, medium, hard, max. Max is only used for emergencies. Max brakes. 3, you'll hardly need 3 unless the runway is like really slippery, like slushy. 2 is usually 1 and 2 is most common, but it also depends what your weight is and stuff. So as you do it more and more often, you'll be able to make better judgments, and there is apps out there that help you work out based on your weight and everything what the best auto brake and what is the optimal stuff for that sort of setting. Every time it changes, every time. Okay, so we zoom out and now we can see that we're fine. That's our cruising bits. And now, if you want, you can go to PLN.
Yep.
There we go. Zoom in a little bit. Go to legs. And then you step climb it. You can step it by step. And you can see, now you can see as it goes. There you go. It even tells you the altitudes. And it's going to go through there. And then there, and then you're most probably going to do a right turn, so keep going, and then on to the final. Right, cool.
So how do you do the vector part?
The vector part, because there's no ATC, you're just going to have to judge it. So I like to judge it, so I go to the last waypoint, and then I use the heading. Or what you can do is you can do this. So go to your legs. So make sure you put it onto map again, put that thing back to map. So go to legs.
Yep.
And go to page until it says vector, so page 4.
Hey.
So you know that there is going to be a vector.
Yeah.
So we can do that automatically, so we can just get LNAV to follow it. And the simplest way is we grab the waypoint below vector, because that's the end point. So we grab COHAS, so we copy it. So we click it.
Yep. Oh, I did it on mine.
Oh shit, is it? Yeah, and then you put it on vector, on the vector. And look, it will substitute it.
I
So
see.
click execute. Now go to legs. Go to plan. And now follow the step climb. And look. Now it's linked. Interesting, eh?
But otherwise, would you turn the heading knob and press heading select?
Otherwise, you would use the heading. So you'd header select, and then you'd manually set the heading. I like to manually set the heading because I fly on VATSIM quite a lot of the time. And so you need to keep an eye out for you know, you need to keep an eye out for
Traffic.
traffic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Cool. What's this? Oh, effects. So this is an expensive plugin, huh?
What
Reshade.
Xenviro?
No, Reshade.
Ah, no, it's free.
Oh. Oh, and Xenviro is expensive.
Yeah, roughly about. It's expensive, bro. It's 60. It's 60. You're spending quite a bit of time, yeah. So now you just lay back, relax, get it all sorted, and wait until. So it's gonna come at top of descent. So what we're gonna do is on top of descent, as you can see here, is gonna be near PONCT. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna let the FMC do its job. So in this case, we're gonna put 3,000
Feet.
feet. Yeah. Right. And we're not gonna do anything. And then once it gets to top of descent, it's gonna automatically go down. And you'll see it automatically go down by itself. So you've programmed the ILS. You correctly plugged in the ILS. You can triple verify it. 330, 330. You put in the flight level, the correct frequency. Right?
Yeah.
So now you're sorted. Right? And now you just gotta wait for it to descend. And then hopefully you'll do a flight. How do you think it's going so far?
Oh, great. Thank you very much, huh?
Yeah, well, now, what I would suggest you do later, or throughout your time, is test. What I would do is I would fly this route once or twice and just sort of keep doing the same thing over and over again until you get the idea of, you know, what to do. But the next flight I'll do with you, I wanna do it with you properly and sort of just watch and see how well you handle yourself. Okay.
Okay.
So, but congratulations, you're on your P2, buddy.
Cool. Do you want to stop here?
No, we can carry on the flight if you want.
Okay. Yeah. If you have time, huh?
Yeah, of course we do.
What's the runway on the left window? Can you see it?
What's the runway?
Yeah, we can see a runway.
You can find that out. So on your thingy, look at your thingy, your little MCP.
Yeah.
On your little thingy, and click airport, ARP.
Kilo Sierra Yankee Romeo.
Yep. So if you go to Google and type in Kilo Sierra Yankee
Romeo.
yeah, you can find out that it's Cyrus Course HANKK International.
Hmm.
You're doing great. So at the moment, it's just a matter of observation and knowing what to look for. So at the moment, you're doing good. You're on your P2. We like that. 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you're doing good, man. You're doing good. It's steady, steady. Which friend added me? Brian Simmons. Brian. Right. Ask for an instructor. Fuck. So when could I get this training be held? By the way, hang on. Let me just be back in a sec.
Yep.
All right, so we're now coming up to nearly top of descent.
Yep.
And if you click terrain, now there's a couple of buttons as well while we're here. If you click TRE, that's for terrain. So it will tell you the highest terrain and the lowest piece of terrain. So at the moment, it's telling you. So if you look, and if you look to the left, it will say TER, so TER for terrain, and it will say 028, and then below that, it'll be 007. So 2229 means 029, it means that the highest piece of terrain that it's scanned, it's at 3,000, so 3,000 feet, and the lowest bit is 8 feet. So it's fine. So
It's only because we don't have the same information. Oh, because you're zoomed in.
yeah, I'm not zoomed in. Okay, so now we also need to find out what the current meta is and the current weather there is. Are you using real world weather?
Me, no.
Okay, put in real world weather. Pause it a second. And put in real world weather. Weather.
How do I?
So plane.
Yeah.
And then go on to weather.
Yeah.
Customize. And then go to match real world conditions.
Oh.
Okay, it sounds like you ejaculated.
Well, where is it? Oh, match real
So,
world. Oh yeah,
weather.
yeah, cool.
And then match real world weather, and then when you're ready. Yeah. Done?
Yep.
There we go.
Oh shit.
Whoa, shit. Yeah, it's fine. It's just the weather catching up. It's just the weather catching up. Yep, it's just the weather catching up. It's fine. Okay, so this is where you're going to need altimeter. So, we're going to learn about meta while we're here. So first of all, you go to Google,
Yep.
and then you can search this in simple information. You just put in KBOS meta, and it'll give you a bunch of information. So, this is the best one to find it.
You're not showing your screen.
Oh yeah, shit, I'm not, shit, sorry. So, before we go. So,
Thank you.
I don't know how to read a full meta, but you can read it through here. You get different types of metas, so you might get a meta that looks like this. It's going to say a bunch of numbers, and you're going to be thinking, what the fuck? So, I don't know all of it, but I know some of it. Okay, so KBOS is the airport.
Yep.
0622 06 622 54 Zulu. What is that? 06. I think that's the time, but I don't know how you read that time. So forget about that. So that's the time. I forgot how you read that. You can get tutorials on Google how to read it properly. That is the wind. So 330 at 10 knots. That is the lowest piece of. I think that's the clouds. So 10 SM. I forgot what SM stand for. I don't really need that, but few. That means there's few clouds. That's flight level 5,000. So 55 550 500. Yeah. 055. And then there's few as well at flight level 250. And A stands for altimeter. So altimeter is 2987.
Do we need this?
Yep. So you go here, where it has on your side.
Yeah.
And you twist it until it says 2988. What was it? 2987.
2987.
Okay, so that's program.
Oh.
We've now programmed it.
Boom.
So, as far as I know, within altimeter is the altitude above sea level. So it changes from time to time based on weather. So the altitude, I think, something to do with the sea and how it changes, so different weather it changes. So in real life, that is the difference between life or death sometimes. So that's something to keep an eye. I would do, yeah, that
yeah, for
is.
sure.
So I would, honestly, if I was you,
Yeah.
I would research that a little bit more because it will tell you more in depth as to how that works. So I'm going to send you something. Have a little read through that when you have time one day. Not now, but when you have time.
Okay.
It's not really needed on the simulator, but altimeter is always needed because if you fly online, they will always tell you. So just make sure you get the altimeter and whack it in there because it's the altitude above sea level, and it tells you exactly how it works. Okay, so can you see on the map there?
Yes.
TD. Right, now, we know we are right on TD because we're coming at 3,000 and we don't need to do anything because it's already coming out here. And there's going to be a little diamond in a minute pop here.
What
If
does it
it's not
mean?
there on your screen. Yep. I'll tell you exactly what it means. It's going to basically, as it descends, it's going to tell you what altitude you need to be at and where you are in terms of if you're on a correct path. So it actually helps you guide down, so you know you don't have to guess when you descend. Remember heading 080.
Oh,
What
yeah.
is it? So heading, I'll tell you. As you descend, that diamond is a bit like the diamonds that I was telling you about. That thingy will come down, and they'll come down, and as it comes down, you need to descend as well. The autopilot descends. And as long as it stays in the middle, that basically means that you're on the right path descending to be where you need to be, for your approach correctly.
But
If
okay,
you're
but this
above
is
it,
if you fly hand fly.
no, it's autopilot as well.
Okay.
So, for example, I'll tell you in a sec. Because it will tell you, and it will even tell you the altitude in a simple mathematics, where you need to be. Because you know you need to be at certain altitudes. You can't really guess. Well, you can sort of guess where you need to be. But you're not ready. Alright, so we know we need to be there. Actually, switch it today if you could, bud. Because otherwise we're going to struggle. Yeah. Switch it today. Midday. No. There we go. We want to be able to see what's going on. Can you see the pink line here on your screen? Where am I?
The magenta line, yeah.
There should be a pink diamond here on the corner.
No, I don't see it.
Ah, strange, isn't it? We'll find out soon as we go over that top of the set. Ooh. That diamond should appear in a minute. Go on, diamond, appear for me. Where are you? Diamond, where are you? There is no diamond. I am disappointed. I am disappointed, but just follow the diamond. Well, I would say follow the fucking diamond. There it is. See it?
Yep.
Look at it go
Yep,
down.
yep, yep.
You see that diamond there? Right. And we need to, Now see there in the corner where it says RMP, ANP, and then it says 200,
Yeah.
but below.
Yeah.
That means that we're up 330 foot, 350 now, 355 feet above where we need to be. So we need to descend quicker. So the control, I mean, the thingy will be there. We'll get there quicker. Anyway.
Oh, it's laggy.
Yeah. Oh, boy. So we need to descend because that's the correct glide path for where we need to be. You see on the FMC it says drag required,
Yeah.
right? That means we need to activate the spoilers.
Let's do it, though.
So the spoilers, you give activate, and you give it, let it activate. So you should just have a button to activate it. So don't put it down, put it up. There you go. No, you're putting it down again. It needs, no, you keep deactivating it.
Huh.
So, alright. Okay. So again, there you go, leave it like that.
Okay.
So until that disappears, when, there you go, yours has disappeared, so now we can put it back up. So drag required basically means that it needs to create drag to lose speed. That's where it needs to be. Okay, so we now need to keep an eye on those monitors and make sure that diamond stays in the middle.
Okay.
Because as long as that diamond stays in the middle, we're on a correct path descending. So if that diamond is at the bottom, what does that mean?
We're too low? No,
No, we're
too
too
high.
high.
Too high.
If that diamond is up the top, what does that mean?
We're too low.
Yep. So unless ATC instructs you to, you don't descend. So there again is going to tell us to drop a descent there in a sec. And if you look in legs, you can actually find out what speed you're going to go at there. So there's going to be 240, but we know for sure there's no speed restriction, so we can put 280 there in Minster.
Okay.
There we go, and execute. Yeah, because we don't. That's obviously wrong there. So I am not going to help you with your landing, but I am going to guide you. So I'm not going to do your lights. Remember, your lights need to go on at 10,000. So that's your landing lights, your taxi lights, and then your strobe needs to go into position and your wing after 10,000. What speed is there the restriction at?
It's 250 below 10,000.
Well done. What is a SID?
Standard instrument departure.
What is a star?
Standard terminal arrival route.
Standard in
Terminal.
Yeah, it is.
Nah.
Yeah, you're right. It's a route. Route. So we now see where we are now. That it's just, you know, struggling to descend because it's got to keep up with that speed and it's got to descend. So how high are we from where we need to be?
Oh,
How do we check how high we are from where we actually need to descend for?
with
How
the
high
with
are
the
we?
diamonds, no?
Yeah, from the diamonds. But how do we check what altitude?
Oh, it's
That's-
800
Yeah, how high we are. Yeah.
feet.
So always check here and there. So the diamond's there. Okay, how far is that diamond? Where we need to be? 600 feet now. So remember, usually just let the autopilot do its job. You've done really good job today, mate. Well done. You learned really quickly.
Cool.
I feel that you're gonna nail this. So what I want you to do as homework is tomorrow, we're not going to have a lesson, but tomorrow what I want you to do is I want you to practice the same flight by yourself and see how far you get and see if you manage to get up to this point and you manage to land it. Because if you do, that's impressive.
Okay. Maybe should I take the same flight plan?
Yep, take the same. Actually, what I want you to do is I want you to create one.
Okay.
And I want you to take a different runway. So whatever runway is there at the time, so when you create the flight plan, whatever runway it gives you, take that one. So you don't get too comfortable with this runway. I want you to test yourself. So test yourself. So tomorrow do a flight by yourself. See how well you get on. And then you're going to show it to me on Wednesday. See what you've been practicing. I want to see what you've been practicing. So practice as much as you can, and then Wednesday we're going to redo it and see whereabouts you are.
Sounds good. You still have to work?
Do I still have to work?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, because of the virus.
Yeah, of course. Oh, no, I don't have to work, no. I don't have to work. No. No one can work here.
You're in the UK, right?
Yeah. Seven, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So why do we have a second top of descent?
Because there was a speed restriction. Remember that altitude restriction? So there's a drag again. So add some drag.
Okay.
So there was there was an altitude restriction at 240. Remember? Okay. Now look at the standard up on the altimeter. It says standard and it's in yellow, not in green anymore. That means that it's saying to you, okay, it's not standard anymore. You gone past your transition level. So take it off standard, and now we should be all right. There we go. Cool. Sometimes you might come in a little bit too fast. Just use the speed brake to, lose something.
Mm.
So now you just following Bazes. You know Bazes now is 240. But actually Bazes, I'll probably put 260 because we don't really need to go. I mean, there's no speed restriction at Bazes. So if you look at the star from Boston, J Fund. I mean, at Bazes, where are we? We're here, Bazes. There's no speed restriction, and we know that autumn we need to be at 270. So we just put in 270 there because that's just, we know we're going to need that speed anyway. So we put 270 there, and then because anything on here you're now telling this is what the speed I want you to go. So at J Fund there again, we look J Fund nothing, but obviously we can't go Bazes 270, right? You can't go, Bazes, right? And then it's going to go J Fund. So you can't go 240 and then back to 270.
Yeah.
So you're just going to make sure, 270 is common sense, really. Okay, I need to be at 270, really, at J Fund. There you go. And now you're going to enter autumn at 270 as well. And then that way, you just know, it's just common sense, really. Sometimes some of these things are just common sense. So as long as you can't, do you know what I mean? Because then it's gonna ask, because then the FMC is gonna ask you, okay, add drag, and then you gotta drag. You're gonna go 240, and it's gonna go, okay, speed up again. It's gonna, so you might as well just stick at 270 now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So some of these things are just common sense. So you just gotta look at it and be like, okay, fair enough. So, I forgot to tell you, Navigraph on here. You have Navigraph on here. Don't use this on here because that'll break your views. So, unfortunately, you're gonna have to not touch the airport. Only when you're flying shared cockpit, because any other time you can't use it. It works.
Okay.
Sometimes you might find out that your views don't work. Like for example, they don't change, and you have to come here, AviTab, airport, and just run off this. It's a bit annoying. So another top of descent, because it's most probably there's another top of descent there, because right again common sense. Because at autumn you're going to go for 11,000, so it's going to line you up straight again. So you're going to go technically cruise again for a couple of minutes, if that, and then it's going to go back down again. All right, so. See, it's going to stop at 12,000 and then top of descent again. See, and that does everything for you. It just descends everything for you if you put it straight to your approach. But sometimes it might not do that. So sometimes if you're flying online, they might just tell you, descend for 14,000 first. So you just, again, if it's not, just altitude intervene. So you now got winter. So 250. So again, we're looking here, 250. Cool. And everything's going to be done for us. We're correctly where we need to be. Speed's all right. So now we're at 10,000. I have a feeling you're going to like Boston. Boston is a really good freeway airport. This is really good freeway. So just don't forget to lock your gear. I'll also forget to tell you, okay, so before you switch on the battery, usually at the beginning, we first make sure that our reverses are normal. So our speed brakes are not armed. You make sure that the throttle is all the way back, that the gears, the flaps are up, that the gear is down where it needs to be. So that is something that will come with common sense as well. So also pause it there a second. Okay, so there's something, a little button you need to add. Might as well add these now. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to search for a command called auto brake. No, sorry. Speed brake. What is it? No, it's not that. Speed brake. Is it speed brake? Extend full retract. Extend one. Okay, so on your speed brakes extend one, you need to put a button that you'll hardly use, but a button. I put shift / because what you need to do, right? Unpause it when you're ready.
So wait, which one should I add? Speed brake?
So on the settings, it could be on your keyboard. So speed brakes, and then speed brakes extend one, but it's a shift / and then unpause when you're ready. All right, so what that does is that you have to arm your speed brake. So if you press the shift and that button that I told you to.
Yeah.
If you do it now, no, you did it wrong. So it has to be shift/. You probably did it on the wrong button.
Maybe.
Don't
Oh.
pause. Have you paused?
I have.
So we have to pause at the same time. Don't go into your settings while I'm cruising, because you'll stop.
Okay. Can I go in the menu?
Yep. So it has to be on your keyboard. Type in speed brake or BR, and then it says speed brakes extend 1.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
All right.
Unpause.
Yep. There you go.
Oops, sorry.
It should. There we go. You see that little button there? Speed brake armed.
Yeah.
That means you arm the speed brakes. So you need it every time. Every time you're about to land, you need to arm these. So basically, when you land, the speed brakes will arm automatically. If you look at the wings, right? These are the speed brakes. These. Can you see it?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you need to arm them every time. Don't forget. Right, so you're doing good. So the airport is off to our right. There it is.
So I might have broken my keyboard.
Oh God, how?
Like the arrows don't work. I cannot move my camera anymore.
Yeah, that's because your AviTab airport. You need to go to AviTab airport and quit off that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
See, this is what I was saying earlier on to not use it
Yeah.
because it breaks that.
Okay.
So you can use it in single player, like when you're flying by yourself. But if you're flying by someone else, you can't use it. It's a fault that it's a little feature that it's just not. Okay, so I think now you're gonna go roughly about 5,000.
5,000 what?
Nearly. So it's gonna go roughly there. Okay, so no, so you keep it at 3,000. The altitude stays at 3,000. Okay. Whoa, there is some lag there, boy. Damn, that's some crazy ass shit. That's what Exit Mario does to you. No pain, no gain, son. No pain, no gain. I like the clouds. I'll sacrifice. Maybe I just put that to default prep. Actually, it's not going to make a big difference, is it? But I like cloud surfing. Alright, so at this point you can speed intervene. You're 220, so remember the landing lights, which you forgot. I told you to not forget runway turn off lights. 10,000, so don't worry about the taxi light. So this position, strobe lights goes to position. And the wings go to on. Alright, cool. Leave the rest as it is. Usually during cruise, these engines go to flight, and then when you're about to land, these go back to continuous. So that's something that we need to go through, little features like that. Okay, so on your joystick. Okay, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Not now. Okay, so you know that at bench you're going to be at 5,000, and then you need to descend to 3,000. So once this hits at 5,000 there, just going to say that. All right, so you are 220 now. So just a second. Watch the little flaps limit. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Do you know what flaps do?
It adds drag.
It adds drag, yes. So there's a limit to those drags, okay? So because you are 220, your aircraft will now start pitching up to maintain lift, to generate lift, okay? We don't want that, okay? So to keep it straight, because we're above 250, the limit here we can add is 5, okay? And then past 210 is 10, and then plus 200 is 15. Once you get to 15, it's flat, you know, 15 flaps, gear down.
So should
Okay,
I
so
put
you add
flaps?
Flaps 5, yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Well done. So we're now getting ready to land.
And then it says decel.
Oh shit, sorry mate, I was talking to myself. Right, so now we need to disengage the autopilot, so there's a little button on the thingy to disengage.
Yep. Should I do it now?
Yeah, now, quickly. There you go. Alright, so now keep going straight.
Okay.
Maintain 5,000. Okay. So start descending for 3,000 slowly. No, you don't want to disengage the auto throttle, so let the auto throttle help you.
Okay.
So now you want to, yeah, you got that button again. I don't know what it is. Okay, so you want to now turn left of heading 240. Watch that diamond to help you. Yeah, that thing, yeah, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. I'll try and keep up with it. So, and again. So we armed the speed brakes. Speed brakes are armed. So make sure you don't go down too fast, mate. You're going at 2,300 feet per minute. You don't need to go that fast. Keep going. Keep turning. Keep turning. Keep turning. Keep turning. You want to get there early. So keep at 290, nice. Don't descend anymore. Don't descend. You're descending too quick, buddy. Don't. Right, just keep it at that altitude. Keep it at that out. Now you're trying to go get the speed again. You're going to stall at that rate. See what the aircraft is doing now because you pitched up too much. Now it's going to go over speed again. So keep at that. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Keep turning it. Yeah, right. Nose up slightly. You're descending too quick. There you go. There. 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 Stay there. Now turn while maintaining that altitude. Turn while maintaining that altitude. I know it's hard. So, the landing. You're pitching up too quick now. Too much. There. Where you are. where you are now. There you are. So straighten up. No, you're putting nose down. Stop putting the nose down. Pitch it up. There. Hold it. Hold it. There you go. Now, hold that altitude. There you go. You should have what up by 1 point. You should hold it up to 1 point. That you'll be able to help yourself. Okay, so you now set your speed to 170 roughly. So now you got to compact the wind. So you need to go. So you zoom in a little bit. So if you're doing that too much, then it's flaps 10. Okay, so
Okay.
that means that you, okay, because you're zooming in. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm gonna give you. Now it's again, so we're going down to 151. So remember what I told you. It's approach now. Yeah, approach. So I don't know if the magenta line's working for you.
Yeah, I'll try to stick with him.
Yeah. Cool, because my magenta is all the way up the top. So now everything is supposed to be synced up. There's the runway.
Yep.
Now remember, you gotta. It's now coming in at the good speed. So now you go flaps 15, gear down. So again, if you're doing that too much, that means you just need to add a notch of flaps because you need to put the nose up to maintain it. Good. So now you're set for landing. Your landing gear's down. You're a bit high. There we go, go catch that ILS. Alright, speed's yours.
Okay.
Alright. Flaps 30. Now you're way too low.
Oh yeah.
You're not paying attention. You need to pay attention more to that line.
Well, I was following the magenta line, but it's still minus 10.
Why is it still minus 10? That doesn't work out right.
Yeah.
You're losing speed pretty quick. I don't know on my screen you're losing speed pretty quick. What's your speed?
135.
Yep, that's too slow.
Okay.
Needs to be at least 146.
Flight slow.
Yeah.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
Yep. More. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now you're perfect. So landings will come with a you know, with practice. You'll get there. So what's your diamond? I don't understand why your diamond is all the way, your thing is all the way down there. Just makes no sense. So focus on getting the wheels on the thingy and don't flare too early. Remember
Okay.
to not flare too early. And you're flaring too much as well.
What, right now?
No, now you're perfect. You're literally right on the glide slope. See, that's where you need to be. You see where you are now? How you are?
Cool.
How you're descending? 800 feet per minute. No more than 1,000 feet per minute. Good speed. Good speed, good descent rate. Keep it up. Keep that nose there. Keep that nose there. Keep that nose there. Keep it in the middle. Keep it in the middle. You're now going way off. Now you're going way off. Way off. You lost it there in that last sector. So nose up slightly.
20,
Lose
10.
speed. Yeah. Good, good. Reverses. Keep it in the middle. No. Reverses. Stop, stop, stop.
Oh.
Stop. Now you can activate it.
Is it activated?
No, it won't work for you. You need a button for the reverse thrusters. Yeah, you need a button for the reverse thrusters.
Here we go.
Yeah, it worked.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until
Yeah.
the seatbelt sign
Yeah.
is turned
So this is
off.
where you're going to need to practice.
Yeah,
on
this
those
is-
approaches.
yeah.
Carry-on items.
So
Take a moment to check your seat back pocket for any personal items, like tablets and cell phones.
stop here a second.
When you open the overhead compartment, be careful, as items
Right.
may have moved in
Let's
flight.
go here.
And thank you for
Right,
choosing
let me
American
request
Airlines.
control.
Yep.
Alright, let me tell you exactly where you went wrong. Can you see it moving?
Yep. Oh, we're moving on the sim.
yeah, we are for some.
I'll pause it.
Okay, the fuck? Okay, what? Okay, you request controls.
Okay.
Okay, go on to toggle. Toggle replay.
Uh, flight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, flight and toggle replay. Okay, there we go. So go a little bit forward. There we go. A little bit more forward. A little bit more forward. A little bit more. Okay, so there. Right, there. Stop. So, right, there you were fine. There you were perfect. So press play. There. Alright, so there you were perfect. And then there you just lost it.
But what do you mean?
So what happened was, is you were lifting your nose up for some strange reason. So you were coming in, I can't even see it properly, man. Go back a bit, all the way back. So I don't know why you lifted your nose here. And then what happens is you then started going down and then, yeah.
20,
So it's
10.
what you need, right, with landing, right? So press pause. Right, what you need with a landing is you need to come in at a stable approach. If you don't come in at a stable approach, oh shit, it's time. Right, okay, yeah, just disconnect. Yeah, it's fine.
I think
I didn't
I
think that
misunderstood
toggle.
you.
Hang on. I didn't even think. Right. Hang on. The fuck? Oh my god, really? Right, the key to an approach is coming in stable in the first place. That is a massive, massive, so important. And we'll work on that together. We're going to work on that together.
Okay.
The key, remember that the key to coming into an approach is stableness. You need to be stable. The moment that you start concentrating on too many things at the same time, right? So the moment that you start going down at this sort of, you know, degrees, 1,800 feet per minute, at this point, that's not stable. That is in real world what else considered as a go around. So you're going good here. So here your approach, and I'm telling you, right? So watch that. See where you're going. So you're going up, down. So see, and then you're pitching, right? And I'll tell you exactly how you need to come in. All right. Because, right, what's happening is because you're putting your nose up to so high, you're trying to you're trying to generate air. You're trying to maintain height, or you're trying to keep at a certain angle. That what happens is because you're losing speed and then you're adding more speed. And what's going to happen is that you're going to add so much speed that when you put your nose down, your speed's going to go all over the place and you're not going to be stable. And this is here's what happens. See, you add speed, see, and you're trying to generate lift. See, your engines are going and you're trying to maintain it and you're trying to maintain it. And then here you were fine. Like there was a point here where you did fucking brilliantly. I was really proud of you at this point. Here, see, here roughly, this is where you want to be. You see how that is now?
Mm-hmm.
That's the sort of descent that you need to have here. This is where you went really well. And you just needed to lose a tiny little bit of speed, so maybe 1 or 2 knots. And then you just lost it. And then what happens is you went nose down, which is fine because I do that sometimes. But by this point, look at your PAPI lights. That's not stable at all. Look, you're too high. And what's going to happen is you're going to nosedive and you're going to cause yourself more thingy. But you actually managed to catch it up pretty well, to be honest. So here you're fine. And this is sort of the approach here. This is where I was really impressed here. This is a sort of the approach, and then you just lost it. I don't know what happened. You started pitching up for some strange reason when you should have been descending. I'll tell you exactly when. So here, only a tiny little bit, and you gave it too much. Where is it? There. I don't know why you did this bit here. Ah, man, here, and then you needed. So, right. So, for your landings, right? And look at your plane. Look, now it's going all over the place. Do you see those square boxes there?
Yeah.
That's called a touchdown zone. Every pilot that lands or tries to land a plane is trying to land on those boxes there. So realistically, if you're not landing on there, you know, then you've got these boxes here, 10 and the 20 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet. If you really miss these two, you should really go around realistically. Realistically, you should really go around. Okay, that's why they're there. That's why this is not just there for no reason. This is there because it's called the touchdown zone. Because that's the safe altitude. And then 20 feet and then 30 feet is the max that you could really. Hence why it goes 1, so 3, 2, 1. Because there, that's just considered dangerous. So try and maintain it. Touch your wheels here. That's where you want to touch. Anywhere here in between. I'd say the whites, but I mean you did well. And then what happened is look, and then you dived, and then yeah, you just. I mean, here you did well. See that 800 feet per minute? That's where you want to aim for, roughly.
Okay.
Here was a beautiful flare. Beautiful flare. Beautiful. Beautiful. But if you did that, and then you nose dive too much, and then what happens is because you came unstable, you went out of control. And then there was a bit where you completely went off the runway. I don't know what you were trying to do here.
I was trying to do the reverse. I messed up the buttons.
Okay, so the plus. This is there was a beautiful moment there That was beautiful. That was beautiful moments. Okay, so let's work on things that we need to work you on. So you need improvement, but overall, what you did today, and I can tell you now, based on all the students that I taught, you done really fucking fantastic. That is, I'm really fucking proud of you of that,
Cool. Thank you.
and you should be really proud of that. So I'm gonna write you some stuff. So you take home. Well, you can't take home actually, but
No, but for sure I need to train more. Like I'll
okay.
try
So
the flight
today,
again.
so cons. We're gonna write some pros first. So what do you feel you excelled today? So what do you feel was really good? What do you feel?
I think the startup was good.
The starting was really good. Yeah, I agree. I thought you were really good. So the beginning was good. So cold and dark, I thought you were really good. I thought that was brilliant. I think you're on a good 7 out of 10 on the cold. I'd say about 6 out of 10. Yeah, I'm gonna put 6 out. I'm gonna put 5 because I want to get you standard ready up to a point where you do it. So 5 is good. Trust me, because a 10 is VATSIM ready.
Okay.
So when you're 10, you're VATSIM ready. Cold and dark was good. Takeoff. How did you feel that you nailed on that? How do you feel? How do you consider yourself on there?
Well, the
With 10, go.
no, it was maybe a 4. Like the speeds were good, but the rate
Right?
was all over the place. Like
What do you mean?
the angle, the magenta line
Yeah,
was up and down. So
yeah,
that I
I
could
agree.
improve.
So I feel that a 4 out of 10 is a fair score. I feel that was um uh we need to work on that. I think you need to I think you need to get Navigraph as well because it is your first time, so don't go hard on yourself. I think a 4. I'm gonna give you a 3 on there. Don't beat yourself down about it. 3 is still good. I think. You know what? I'm gonna give you a 4 on that. A 6 on here. How's that? Because I feel that you've done cold and dark. You excelled. You excelled really well. You excelled really well. Cold. Actually, I'm gonna give you that. Actually, I'm gonna give you this. 6 out of 5. No, because I thought you'd done really well. Your takeoff was good, but I'm gonna give you a 4 out of 5 on that because you took off really well. You did the toga really well, but then at one point you forgot. So that was your pros. What else do we feel that the pros? Cruising. I thought cruising was really good. I mean, there's not much to cruise, so 5 out of 5 seems fair.
Yeah.
5 out of 10. Okay, now cons. Let's work on some cons. What do we need to work on? Let's name this needs to work. What do we feel that we need to work on? Your approach.
Yeah, for sure.
Your approach needs to be worked on. Just really quick. So we're not gonna rate them. We're gonna work on them together.
Okay.
Okay, so your approach, your landing, your speeds, and your stableness. Okay, so we're actually gonna work on these. Your speed and your stable. We're actually gonna do circles around the airport, and we're gonna practice touch and goes. If you don't, if you need help with that. So, but it's fine. Right. I thought that was good, so we'll leave that on to Mario. Your name is Mario. Mario. And yeah,
Yeah.
listen. This, I thought that you've done really good today, so don't put yourself down about it. You got to think as well, right? You got to think as well that this is only your second day, bro, and you're already getting fives. I was at one point I was naming people on only ones and twos, but you've done really well. You should be really proud of yourself. You understood the, you know, the Navigraph. You did your flight plan. There was a lot of information going today. There was, and the second day is always a lot. You always have shit loads of information happening at the same time, and I think that was really good. So I think that you really excelled on that today. So you should be really proud of that.
Well, I'm happy. I think you taught me well, huh? Like,
Yeah, I think there's like I said, there's just a few things that we need to iron out because there's a lot of information. Because I got to talk all the time because I got so much information to tell you.
yeah.
That I'm gonna, do you know what I mean? But as you fly more often, and if you fly by yourself, you'll also learn quicker. So it's just a matter of taking your time and being patient, and you'll get there. You've done that really well today, really, really well. And surprising that some people crashed on their first flight and their landing, you've done really, really well. So you should be really proud of that. And I can't really tell you any, that's really good. I think you should be end of the month. You should be fucking P5 if you keep on practicing and stuff. But I don't want to promise anything. So let's just keep at it. You're doing really well. You're cold and dark. That was one thing that amazed me. Cold and dark. How you remembered the amount of information I gave you. That was fucking impressive. So that's really good. But yeah, that's it for today's lesson.
Cool, man.
Wednesday, one again. We'll go through it together, and we'll see what we can. Work on. Where we can work on.
Okay. See you soon. Thank you so much, huh?
Nah, it's alright, man. Have a good one.
Bye bye.